Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! Peekaboo, I see you because... Oh, Did I break my fan? Oh my God, I broke my fan! For you! For you, Raw Beauty Kristi! Wasted love! Now I have to start over my whole intro. I'm losing my voice, okay? I'm losing my voice, and I have to do this whole intro over again. And I broke my fan. Like a knife in the kidney. Wasted love, Kristi, over a pottery wheel. People are missing the Sister Wives reference. For those of you that watch Sister Wives, you guys are howling. For the rest of you that don't watch Sister Wives, you guys are like, what is he talking about? Anyway... Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back with no voice. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Peace! Peekaboo, I see you because... Ow! This video today. I'm YouTube famous now. Available. Summer 2025, the album. Dad. Shimmy, shimmy. You shimmy to the left and you shimmy to the right. You shimmy to the back and you shimmy to the front. Somebody the other day, when I did that, I did the shimmies on there because it was like around, I think it was New Year's or just, I don't know, Christmas or something. I did this whole video. I think it was on my Peter Does Stuff channel. I did the shimmy. I don't know which video it was on, but anyway, somebody commented on my video the other day and they said, oh, I've been practicing and I was ready for the shimmies, and you know that I did the shimmy dance with you. Okay, so for all of those that missed it the other day, shimmy to the left and you listen, if you're going to do a video about Raw Beauty Kristi, you have to have some fun, okay? You have to have some fun because it goes dark with that gal. Anyway, okay. You shimmy to the left and you shimmy to the right. You shimmy to the back and you shimmy to the front. Anyway, let's just get to the end of this intro. Rock on, gold dust woman. Peace. How are you guys doing today? Okay, before I get into this very religious video today about Raw Beauty Kristi discussing her religion. Losing my religion. Oh, that's the song I should have sang today by R.E.M. It's the end of the world and we know as we know it. I feel... That's great. It starts with an earthquake, birds and snakes and airplanes. Listen, Linda, okay? This video is sponsored by AdamandEve.com. Thank you, AdamandEve.com. I love working with them. I have worked with Adam and Eve. I've actually worked with the same guy at Adam and Eve now for about 5 years, and he is so nice, and I love working with them. I have so many friends of mine now. It's kind of really, to be honest with you, uncomfortable. Well, not really, but I have so many friends of mine that they use it for bachelorette parties. My husband, he has 4 girlfriends that just got engaged in the last 2 months. So, they're probably all going to use my code for the bachelorette parties for, fun little toys and stuff like that. But, bachelorette parties, you wear the thing, anyway, you get it. So, anyway... But I have so many friends of mine that use the code now, and so we'll be at dinner, and they'll be like, oh, by the way, we used your code, thank you so much. I'm like, oh, can you pass the dinner rolls? But I appreciate it, thank you. So my code is code Peter, okay, over at AdamandEve.com. Listen, you can get all your intimates over at Adam. Just go over there and just check it out, okay? What I recommend to people is this, one of 2 things. If you're single, go over there to find something that will make you happy, okay? If you're a couple and you want to spice up your love life a little bit, then it's perfect over there too, okay? And yeah, so with my code Peter, it's 50% off. Free shipping and handling in the United States and Canada. Some exclusions do apply, okay? They have a 90-day return policy, no questions asked, you can just return it. They also have 24-hour customer service, and most importantly, 20% of the proceeds go to the fight and prevention of HIV and AIDS around the world. I love any business that has a mission, so thank you, Adam and Eve, for sponsoring yet another video on my channel. They've been so fantastic to me. I only do sponsorships, and I am getting paid for the sponsorship. I am getting paid to endorse them and to talk about them in a video. I want to be very transparent about that. But they have been so fantastic to work with me for so long. And what I love is when you guys direct message me and you're like, oh, I used your code last night, or my partner and I sat down, we used your code, and it was so fun looking through stuff. Or I've had so many people that have reached out to me and said for bachelorette parties and, bridal showers and stuff like that. Well, not maybe so much bridal showers, but you know what I'm saying. But anyway, that they've had so much fun with it. And so I just want to say I really, really appreciate it. Some people even comment on the videos that they used my code. So anyway, like I said, code Peter, okay, adamandeve.com. And so thank you for sponsoring this video, Adam and Eve. Okay, so let's get into this video about Robbie Kristi. I have a bunch of notes. Before I get into that, though, I think I actually probably need to give an update about something that's kind of become, I don't know, it's kind of become like a serious topic over here. I've been getting a lot of questions about it. And so I feel like I probably need to address this before I get into this Raw Cutie. She should change her name to Raw Cutie Kristi. Oh, that's kind of cute, isn't it? Because she don't want to do makeup anymore. She could call her name. What is Pookie? Oh, that's what Jeffree Star calls all of his friends. Pookies, a bunch of Pookies. She could her name. She could change her name to Raw Pookie Kristi. I could change my name to Peter Pookie. Oh my God, there's so many things. But anyway, before I get in this very serious Raw Beauty Kristi video today, there's something that I really do need to address over here. So I've been getting so many DMs about this, so many direct messages. You know, a couple videos ago, I think it was like a week and a half ago or something like that, I talked about how Lady Gaga had reached out to me months ago to be in the Abracadabra video. She had seen my dance moves. My husband had posted some videos at Ultra Music Festival. And so she had seen me dancing, and she was like, I really want you to be in it, and blah, blah, blah. And so then she asked me to be in the music video, and I couldn't, you know, because it was on a Sunday. It was shot on a Sunday, and on Sunday I have sister wives. I've explained this before, right? And so I feel like I need to kind of give an update, though, and kind of address this situation, because it's kind of turned into a serious situation now, because some people are very upset about this. And I even mentioned it on video. So anyway, so then she reached back out to me, and she asked me if I would be in the Grammys with her doing her performance of Abracadabra. Abracadabra. And I said I would love to. But then she said for next year, because the Grammys had just happened, for when she wins Album of the Year. And I said, I would love to. I said, but you know, the Sister Wives is on Sunday night. So Gaga, I'm sorry, you know. And she was very upset. I said, Stephanie, please, just calm down a little bit, you know. So then after that, Reba called me. Reba McEntire, you know. And she called me, and she was like, you know, when Reba calls, you know, fancy don't let me down. So anyway, she called me. She wanted me to go on tour, you know, this summer at the state fairs with her. And I was so excited, because I do love a state fair. I love a state fair so much. And to go to like 10 of them across the, you know, the country, and I love Miss Reba McEntire's music so much. But anyway, you know, that's a lot of Sundays. And I don't know if there's going to be a 20th season of Sister Wives. So I just couldn't, and I had to turn down. She was very upset. They all talk behind the scenes, you know, like all these musician celebrity types. They're all like friends behind the scenes. And so if you get in bad with one of them, then you're kind of, you know, screwed with all of them. Well, so, you know, and Gaga had suggested to me that when her and Beyonce do the sequel to the telephone video that she's been hinting out at, that they really, because originally they wanted me in the back seat, you know, or in the back of the truck, you know, and stuff like that. And so in the next video, I'm going to be in that video. So then Beyonce called me, right? Beyonce, I don't know if she's delusional or what's going on, but she said the whole time she was shouting at Blue Ivy in the background. First of all, I just was like, girl, that's already. Okay. So she called me. She wanted me to be at the Academy Awards, you know. I think it's next weekend or something like that. It's a week from Sunday, I think. Maybe it's this Sunday. I don't know. She wanted me. I haven't watched none of the movies. I don't know none of the movies this year. I used to watch the Academy Awards every year. But anyway, she wanted me to be at the Academy Awards. I said, you aren't even performing. Because they don't know it yet, but I'm showing up. Like, I dropped an album. I'm going to drop a performance. I said, well, I don't think the Academy Awards work that way, babe. But anyway, she just, you know, nonsense. It's always nonsense when Beyonce calls you. So anyway, so she was real upset. Well, I found out that behind the scenes that, like, Gaga, Reba, and Beyonce, you know, they went to one of those Brazilian steakhouses, you know, where they hang up the meat and stuff like that. I heard you get real sick off those steakhouses. But anyway, they went to I don't know, it was in St. Louis. They were like I don't know why they were all in St. Louis at the same time, but Reba and Gaga and Bey, they all went out to dinner to this Brazilian steakhouse. And then they were sitting there eating, and they were talking about me, and they were saying a bunch of shit about me. And I was like, oh, well, nobody's going to ever ask me to perform with them again. I mean, if you guys even knew how many times people have performed with me. It's like the other night, you know, like we were watching Traders, you know, and in Traders, they play a lot of this, like, classical music in there and stuff like that. And I said to my husband, I said, you know, they asked me to play the violin in the theme song, but I couldn't. And he goes, Sister Wives. I go, exactly. It was on a Sunday, Sister Wives, you know. So anyway, I get asked to do stuff like a lot, you know? So anyway, so I was like, oh, nobody's going to ever ask me to do anything again. Like, I'm just, listen, at this point, I'm just a piece of shit drama channel. You know what I mean? I'm never going to get asked to perform ever again at anything. So I was like, well, you know, but you still got Sister Wives. You still got your Sister Wives coverage, you know, because now people are referring to me as a Sister Wives commentary channel. What? I just was watching the show, reacting to it. I guess now I'm a Sister Wives commentary channel, but I kind of live for that, you know? So listen, when you're a Sister Wives commentary channel, Sister Wives has to come first, okay? And I'm sorry to Gaga, and I'm sorry, you know, to Bay, and I'm sorry to Reba, but Sister Wives has to come first. So then, you know, this morning, I was getting ready for this video by picking out a shirt and things like that, and the phone rings, and I look at it, and I'm like, oh, hadn't heard from her in a while, so I pick up the phone, and I'm like, hello, and it's like, she's like, Peter. And I'm like, oh, Stevie, how are you? It was Stevie Nicks, you know? So anyway, we talk all the time. But it's been a while, actually, because she's been on tour and things like that, you know? And I said, Stevie, how are you? And she said, I'm really good. She was like, I wanted to ask you a favor. And I said, you know, Stevie, listen. I said, I turned, you know, Gaga down, okay, for the Grammys and for her music video because of Sister Wives on Sunday. And I also turned down Beyonce for the Oscars. I turned down Reba McEntire. It's gonna have to be a huge ask, Stevie, okay? And she said, well, it's on a Sunday. And I said, you know, she throws in, every time I talk to Stevie, she kind of throws in some white winged doves and stuff like that. She don't really know what she's talking about, you know. She slurs words together like, you know, just like, oh, white winged dove. And so she can't really understand what she's saying, you know. And I was like, what did you say? And she said something Sunday. And I said, oh, you're asking me over on a Sunday? And she said, yeah, on a Sunday. And I said, well, what Sunday is it? And she said something like 4 Sundays, you know, from this upcoming Sunday. I said, I think that's the return of Sister Wives. I said, well, what did you want to do? I said, you know, Sister Wives comes first, Stevie. What did you want to do? And she said, well, you know, I just wanted to know if you want to come over for macaroni salad and play, you know, a couple games of canasta. And I said, Stevie, I'm there, baby. I'm there. Fuck some Sister Wives. Fuck some Sister Wives over Stevie Nicks. But Gaga, Beyonce, and Reba, y'all can get fucked, baby. Y'all can get fucked, okay? If Stevie calls, you show up. That's what the answer is right there, okay? Wagon wheel Watusi. Anyway, so that one goes out to somebody special too. So anyway, let's get into this Raw Beauty Kristi video, shall we, at the 17-minute mark. Okay, so I had put out, I actually have proof today that this was not the video that I was going to make because last night, y'all hear, okay, I've been trying to get sick all week long, and it's like now my throat has completely, it's like yesterday I woke up and I thought it was closed. Today, it's like, it's 10 times worse, okay, like 10 times worse. So anyway, I put up this thing on my Instagram yesterday. Oh, little dog pictures and stuff like that. If you follow my Instagram, okay, it's mostly, oh, look, this woman reading in a window and things like that. Oh, I put this one thing up here. Oh, I've always put these motivational quotes because they just inspire me so much. Hold on a second. Where's it at? It says, once you decide you want a good life, the universe will start moving things for you to have it. The people you need will appear. The healing you need will appear. The doors you need open will unlock. But not till you decide. Once you truly, sincerely decide, miracles will happen. And I agree. I think that is 100% true. And then look, Pee-wee, I love him so much. Okay, hold on a second. Let me get back into this. Okay, so then I put this one right here. Okay, this is so funny. I love these little memes. It says, keeps on going out. When your nap was so good that you thought you missed the school bus, but it's Sunday, and you're 52. And I am 52, so I thought that was so funny, right? Okay, then more dogs. It's all senior rescue dogs on my page. And then, oh my God, these rescue, oh my God, so I follow this thing called the Gentle Barn. It's all these like farm animals that were rescued. Then squirrels, because you know, of course, I love squirrels. But where is it at? Did it already time out? I couldn't have possibly timed out. Where is it at? Oh, here it is. So I put, what influencer do you want me to talk about next in the video, and what do you want to know? You still got lots of hours, because it's only at the 17-minute mark now. So that was what my video was going to be about today. You know what I mean? And then I started getting sent all this kind of stuff about Raw Beauty Kristi, well, later last night, and another person that we're going to be making a video about tomorrow. So, you know, I know people, it kind of cracks me up when I get the comments from people that are like, you are so obsessed with Raw Beauty Kristi. Listen, okay, I don't look for her. I just don't, okay? I do not look for Raw Beauty Kristi. Let me tell you kind of how it happens. I know that people think that, like, at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, I'm, like, manically typing on the computer, Raw Beauty Kristi, Raw Beauty Kristi, Raw Beauty Kristi. this is actually what my night looked like last night. Okay, so my husband and I watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. If you want to hear these kinds of things, you can go watch my vlog. I vlog every single day. It's called Peter Vlogs, and I just tell stories of my life and things like that. So we watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and then we watch What Happens Live. And Crystal from last season was on it. I think she'd bore a snake, don't she? But anyway, Crystal was on Watch What Happens Live. So watch What Happens Live, and then we went upstairs because I was like, I need to take a nap. Because the reason I need to take a nap is so I can watch my shows until 6 o'clock in the morning, because I have a normal schedule. When people want to tell me that's not a normal schedule, I say, well, maybe your schedule is not normal. Don't be judging my schedule, okay? So then we came upstairs. My husband rolled through TikToks for about 3 hours or something like that while I took a nap. And then I got up, and then I trim all the wicks in my candles, okay, every single day while I'm listening to my audiobook. And last night I was listening to Dry by Augustin Burroughs, because on my Peter Does Stuff channel, I'm picking recovery books to listen to or to read every single month. So this month we started this month, Carolyn Knapp, Drinking a Love Story, and Dry, Augustin Burroughs, because they're two of my favorite books. And then every month going forward, I'm going to pick a book that I've never read before that's a recovery book. So I was trying to get it done before the end of the month, see. So I was listening to Dry last night. I was trimming the wicks on my candles, getting my candle wax melts picked out, things like that. Then I talked to my friend Nikki for a little while, because we had to decide if we were going to do puzzles or not, because we do puzzles every night, okay? Now on our iPads, we have this app. People keep on asking me which app it is. It's the one that has a cat on it. I don't know what it's just called, Jigsaw Puzzles, and it has a picture of a cat's face on it, okay? And that's the puzzle app that we use. I don't know. But anyway, we do the daily puzzles, but now we've gone, whether you unlock them. So we were going to do puzzles last night. Now, we usually listen to audiobooks or music while we're doing puzzles, okay? And then she does it on her iPad in Pittsburgh, and I do it in my iPad in Indianapolis, and then, like, we send them to each other. We try to beat the other person. That's really what it is. I mean, everything in life's a competition, right? So you guys see who can get to the puzzle done fastest. So we do, like, 3 or 4 puzzles. Well, then I finished Dry, you know, and then she was going to sleep. So I was like, okay. Well, then I was like, oh, my God, Survivor came on tonight. I mean, I know this and all this. I was like, please let me go sit at the computer and go just look up things to do with Raw Beauty Kristi. But no. So anyway, so then I was like, oh, Survivor was on. So I watched Survivor last night. It was pretty good for a premiere episode, wasn't it? I don't really like the new era so much. I like the old era. But anyway, if you watch Survivor, you know what I mean. Anyway. Then I realized I hadn't watched Matlock, the new one with Kathy Bates from last week, and it's on tonight. So I was like, I gotta get caught up. So I watched Matlock. And then after that, I was like, and at this point, it's now like 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, right? And I was like, should I go over the computer and manically type away like Gabby Han on the computer looking shit up about Raw Beauty Kristi? Or should I light some more candles and sit in my chair all cozy, comfortable, okay? And listen to the Avett brothers, the third gleaming victory, and then should I read my new graphic novel, which is called All My Heroes Are Junkies by Ed Brubaker, and I was doing that, and I was reading that I'm real into the Ed Brubaker graphic novels right now, and I just finished reading Houses of the Unholy, and so then I bought a bunch of his graphic novels. So anyway, I was reading that, I was just all cozy and stuff, and something made me think about Instagram, and I was like, oh, I need to go over and look at the Instagram, right? So I went over there, and when I went to my DMs, I started getting all these messages about this Raw Beauty Kristi video that she had posted yesterday. That's how it really happens, okay? Now, I know that people have theories about how I'm, like, you know, sitting here and I'm looking up threads and copying this and listening to what... Baby, it ain't that deep. It just ain't that deep. Maybe that's how it is for you, okay? But it ain't that deep for me, okay? Listen, I was watching shows, lighting candles, doing puzzles, coming up with conspiracy theories about true crime with my good Jitty Nikki last night. Listen, I had better things to do, reading graphic novels. Okay, I was listening to Avett Brothers. Anyway, I was living my dream last night. That's what you call living your best life, okay? So anyway, I started looking into this because Raw Beauty Kristi, I got all these DMs. I mean, it was literally like one after another. It was like, Raw Beauty Kristi put out this video answering questions. And what people were saying was, this would have been a perfect opportunity for her to address the allegations with the LGBT stuff, the anti-LGBT stuff. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, over 4th of July weekend, I don't know how you wouldn't if you watch all these videos, over 4th of July weekend, Raw Beauty Kristi's son picture was taken that he was in his t-shirt that was an anti-trans organization aligned school, okay? And so at that point was when people started saying that Robbie D. Kristi aligned herself with anti-trans organizations, that she was anti-LGBT, whatever. That was July 4th, okay? Saturday is March 1st. We haven't heard a peep from her, okay? 2 years ago, this summer, was when I brought up James Charles. We haven't heard a peep about her about that, okay? So she goes in and she does this Q&A. So I went in. Hold on, let me get to my notes real quick to make sure that I'm up on my notes. Okay. So I went into this Q&A. Now, the thing you need to know about Q&As before I get into this, and I feel like I've said this a million times, so I hope that most people have caught on by now. But, like, when people do these Q&As, they get to go in there, especially what's interesting to me is, like, if you watch me do a Q&A, I literally just roll through the questions. I'll even show you guys sometimes, like, I'll say, look at how many questions I got. And you can see, I literally just go through Instagram and I just screenshot them, okay? Here, I'm going to give you an example so you can see it real time. Let me turn down my display brightness on my phone so y'all can see it. Hold on a second. Okay, we're going to turn this down. And I'm going to show you what I do, all right? So you can get what a real person doing a Q&A is like, since I just showed you. So I just showed you that I put this up, okay? Now, at the bottom here, when you put up a question, it'll pull this up, and then you can go over and you can see all your responses, okay? And so you can see how many responses you get, all right? So what I do is, I just go straight down through them like this, and then I just screenshot them like that, okay? And then when I go back and I read them, like here, I'll just read one for you. Somebody wanted to know what I thought about Ashley Trevino. Well, I didn't know her name was Ashley. I just thought her name was Ash and she had bed bugs. I don't know much about her. But anyway, people are asking me about Adam McIntyre, Ethan Klein, all this kind of stuff. Up and Adam, somebody's asking me about, the Bravo channel? Because he's become part of the storyline of Salt Lake City. Okay, so anyway, see, that's a good example. I just read them straight down, okay? Well, when you look at people that do these Q&As, like Kristi's a good example in this video, she has pre-picked what questions she's going to answer, okay? She's not doing the phone like that, and even if she did, she could roll through and do it. She's deliberately picking which questions she's going to answer, and she's kind of forming the video around that, okay? Which, fine. Kristi's not the only one that does that. I think almost everybody does that. In fact, the reality is, I'm probably one of the only people that doesn't do it. And I think, and it's not like, okay, and I just want to make this clear. It's not because when I started doing Q&As, I tried to be like ultra genuine or authentic or anything like that. It was just, I didn't really think, I thought that's how everybody did them, if you want to know the truth, that you just roll through the questions. I think that I was naive enough to not even conceptualize that they might be preemptively picking the questions that they're going to answer in the Q&A. It didn't even occur to me, if you wanted the truth. So all my couples Q&As, the Q&As I've done for years and years and years on my BookTube channel over here, I just would roll through the questions and answer the questions. I just didn't know any different, you know? I mean, I caught on after a while. So anyway, that's what people do. But I really, to be honest with you, I did not know. My voice sounds so horrible, doesn't it? I just really didn't know at that time. Okay. So I go in here and I go to look at her video. And her video is called Religious Journey. Hold on, let me turn my volume down. It's called Religious Journey, Answering Your Most Asked Questions. And I was like, oh, my most asked questions. My most asked questions? Well, I think we know what my most asked questions are, okay? Why did you never come? I already know about the whole James Charles. She answered me about James Charles. So what I want to know is why you never addressed it to your audience, okay? People are saying things to me like, I'm demanding an answer for, this is what the fuckery of it all, okay? Is when people say to me, Peter Monn demanded an answer from Robbie D. Kristi. Baby, I didn't demand anything. She gave it to me on the phone. She gave me the answer on the phone, okay? The answer was a lie, what she gave me, but she gave me an answer on the phone. What I've asked for is for her to give an answer to her audience that has asked for it, been blocked when they asked for it, had comments deleted when they asked for it, things like that. I'm asking for her audience. I ain't asking for me. She already told me on the phone. She said she didn't know nothing about it, okay? So that's what she told me. I already got my answer. I'm asking for an answer for her audience. I already know she ain't going to answer me about the anti-trans stuff, okay? I'm asking for her audience because I think her audience has a right to know that. At least those people that give a shit about LGBTQI plus rights. Because when you come over and you say things like, she can feel whatever way she wants to feel, she absolutely fucking can, okay? But until she comes out and speaks otherwise, it pretty much looks like that she aligns with anti-LGBTQ plus rhetoric. And when you support a comment like that, it kind of looks like you do too. I'm just saying, okay? And I take offense to that as part of the LGBTQI plus community. I'm not really sure how people think I wouldn't, okay? I don't understand how people think that I wouldn't. I support every member of the LGBTQIA plus, name off a million letters community, okay? Every member is in there, okay? You know, all of my trans and non-binary siblings out there, I support. All my lesbian family members out there, I support. All my, gay siblings out there, and all of my bisexual siblings that get a fucking bad rap in this world, okay? Because people don't even want to try to explain it, so they sexually fantasize about it. Everybody out there, all the asexual people out there, all the people, listen, okay? Why it's anybody else's fucking business and y'all are so worried about it is so fucking weird to me anyway, okay? So the fact that y'all are confused as to why a gay man that fought for my marriage rights and my human rights in this country, okay? People wanted to call me out for being old for so many years. Yeah, I am old. I'm 52 years old. I am older than most YouTubers on here, okay? I lived a life before I ever stepped fucking foot on YouTube, all right? I walked in marches. I fought for rights, okay? I fought for my right to be married in this country. You think I'm not going to take fucking issue? I've had friends of mine that were trans, okay, that were murdered. I have friends of mine that are trans that were beat to shit on the street, okay? I have a friend of mine that was gay that was shot in the head in a hate crime. I have a friend of mine that was a lesbian that was beat in an alley. You think I don't take issue with this? Abso-fucking-lutely. What's crazy to me is that you would think that I wouldn't take issue with it, okay? That you wouldn't think I would. And so when somebody that I watch, like Robbie D. Kristi, that I've watched for years and years and years, all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, well, she won't come out and speak about the James Charles thing. Well, nobody really wants to come out and speak about the James Charles thing, okay? But then when the LGBT stuff came out, then I was like, oh, girl, you done missed me with this, okay? You done missed me with this shit, all right? Because it would be so simple to come out and with all the I love everybody shit, okay? And, what Christians get a bad rap because they're judgmental. And I'm sitting there watching this video and I'm thinking, who are you talking about, girl? You're the one that put your kid in a fucking t-shirt, okay? Ain't nobody judging everybody that's Christian out there. No. What you're saying is people are judging you, okay? Well, it's your prerogative to not get in a video and discuss it. I don't know why you wouldn't at this point, okay? I don't know why you wouldn't. When people are dying out there. I mean, it's scary times, all right? So anyway, I didn't think I was going to get so serious about this, but it's always confusing to me. I'll get that one comment and somebody will say, well, I don't know why Kristi can have every right that she wants to speak about it. I can too, okay? The difference is I stand behind my belief systems, okay? I ain't afraid to sit here and say what I believe. Apparently she is because she's afraid that it's going to lose her some dollars, all right? Apparently she's afraid that it's going to lose her some dollars. But I just want to make it clear on that, okay? So when people want to say that I'm coming for Robbie D. Kristi, whatever, when I'm like only one of like 30 channels that's making videos about her, what basically you're saying is that you align yourself with that rhetoric. Okay, well now we know where you stand too, I'm not saying that I think that Kristi is a horrible human being. I'm not saying that Kristi is the worst person in the entire world. I watched this video. I actually like this video. What I'm saying is, baby, it had been time for you to come out and talk about this if you really do love all fucking people, okay? If you really do love everybody, and a 1,000 people have asked you at this point about the anti-LGBTQI plus rhetoric, and you love everybody, why would you not step forward with that love in your heart and say, of course, I am not anti-LGBTQI+. Of course I'm not anti-trans. Because like I said, I love everybody. And that includes trans people. That includes people in the LGBTQI+ community who I stand behind and I support fully. The fact that she doesn't say it is what's confusing to me, okay? She has every right to not come and talk about it. But it's fucking her career. And I have every right to have commentary about it on my channel. Because this channel is called Peter Monn. See, down below? It's called Peter Monn. Anyway, okay, so the video is called Religious Journey, Answering Your Most Asked Questions. And when you go underneath here, this was what was interesting to me in her description box. She said, hey guys, today I am answering your most asked questions while I paint something special and secret for an upcoming project I am working on. And then she's got the timestamp. She has timestamps, and then she doesn't include timestamps. This is going to stop in a minute. Hold on a second. Okay, now, people all the time ask me to include timestamps in my videos. I'm too lazy for that. People want to use that as a criticism. He's so lazy. I know I'm lazy. I'm so lazy that I got 7 channels that I film on regularly, and I put out about 300 videos a month. That's how lazy I am. And I've already read 17 books this year, and, do puzzles every night, and I'm so fucking lazy. But anyway, So, but I'll tell you how lazy I'm not, okay? I might be so lazy that I'll say I'm going to throw up a picture here and I don't. But I am not. Let's throw up a picture here. I'm so lazy I'll say I'm going to throw up a picture here or here and I don't, okay? But let's not for 1 second. This is where I said in my last video, something is going on with her, okay? I think people missed that video. Because I got one comment. It was so nice. Somebody said, Peter, you are so kind that even in covering Kristi and your issues with Kristi, that you at the very end of it are even like stepping back, holding out hope for Kristi, giving her good criticism. That's all I've ever tried to do. I think that it's other people, you know, I'm a big believer in mirroring. So when you mirror that somebody is hating, stalking somebody, that's because you're doing that behavior. Okay, that's because you're doing that behavior. Not because you maybe see that in me. Maybe it's because you see it in yourself, all right? I have always held out hope for Kristi. I still watch her videos, and I'm like, is she going to say something? I'm confused. Like, please, Kristi, address this. Because there's a part of me that still believes, and I mean, I don't know, it's been a year and a half, it's been, you know, it's been so long at this point that if she was going to come out and address something, it would have been a while ago, and she's not. So, I don't know, I'm kind of starting to lose hope. And I think I think this is the thing that people forget. I'm not just a drama commentary channel. I'm also a fan of some of these people. And Kristi was somebody that I watched for a long time. And I enjoyed her videos. And so when I'm watching it really through the eyes of as a fan. And so I'm holding out hope that she'll address the things that I want her to address. Not demanding, but just that and I think this is where it's missed too. That because if Kristi were who I thought she was back in the day, Kristi would have no problem coming out and addressing these things at all. The fact that she doesn't makes me believe that she never was who I thought she was to begin with. And that's what concerns me. And I think that's a lot of what her fans are feeling. Like, okay, I'm holding on for her to address it, but she's not going to. Especially when she says in her description box, I am answering your most asked questions. She put up an Instagram thing like I did. Her most asked questions, okay? Well, I'll put up an Instagram of mine. Ask me your most asked questions and I'll answer it. I won't pull a raw video, Kristi, okay? But then she puts timestamps, and then there's no timestamps. This is where I said I'm starting to get concerned about Kristi a little bit, because she does stuff like this where she says, you know, I was going to film 7 videos today. I think this is going to have to be my last one. Other than my vlog, I'm like, what is going on with the world today? Anyway, this is what I'm talking about. The last video that I talked about her, well, the second to last one, when she said she did a sponsorship, didn't disclose it. It wasn't a violation of FTC guidelines. It just was weird how she did it. She had said it wasn't a sponsored video, and then it was a sponsored video. It just was a mess. And I said, I'm not calling her out for FTC guideline violations. I'm saying that the way she did it is almost like she wasn't paying attention. She's messy with all of it. And I said, something's going on with her, and it worries me a little bit. Well, you can see in this video, again, like she didn't include the timestamps. Okay, it's not like she's putting out 4 or 5 videos a day. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, do you ever post videos on the wrong channel? Hardly ever. I got a system, you know. I write down all my channels. I cross them off when I've got them uploaded. You know, I got a system. Does it every once in a while happen? Yeah, the other night we were watching a TV show, and on my phone I was uploading my vlog to a wrong channel. I walked by it. I was like, damn it, now I got to upload the video all over again on another channel. Every once in a blue moon. But these kind of mistakes are weird to me. For Kristi. For me not to include a picture, I think we're all used to that by now. I'm starting to really sound like Stephen X, aren't I? Rock on, gorgeous woman. Anyway, for Kristi, it's weird. She don't make these kind of mistakes, okay? So I go in and I'm like, well, what are the most asked questions? And she's talking about her religious journey in here, and people are saying that this would have been the perfect opportunity for her to address it. Well, what does she talk about in this video? Well, I'm going to tell you. Okay, because you asked. Nicely, I appreciate it. I need some more lip balm before I get into this part of the video. I probably should take a break and give my voice I probably should give my voice a little bit of a break, but you know what? We're just going to power through this because I got TV shows to watch and vlogs to make and things to do because I'm so lazy. Anyway, let's let this bake for a second. Okay, so this is what Kristi talks about. First of all, I wanted to say, she's sitting in this, like, round, like, Pier 1. Y'all remember Pier 1? Do they exist anymore back in the day? I think my first apartment was decorated solely by Pier 1 and my credit card at Pier 1. But anyway, she got one of them round chairs. The lighting on the video is beautiful. I have to tell you, these videos where she's just kind of drawing and stuff like that and talking, I actually really, really like them. I do. You know, this is the thing. Okay. when I was watching the video last night, I really enjoyed the setup of it. She said something about the camera's far away. It's my good camera, the microphone. I thought the sound sounded great. I thought the lighting was beautiful. I thought she looked really pretty in the video. I liked that it was just very calm. It was kind of like dusk outside. The cat's kind of wandering around behind her. These are the kind of videos that I love to watch on anybody's channel. Okay, I want to make that very, very clear. You know, and I was watching it, and it kind of made me sad because I thought, if Kristi really hadn't gotten into all this bullshit that she had, I mean, really, when the James Charles situation happened, it kind of opened Pandora's box. And then the anti-LGBT stuff opened it even further. Not for me. I'm talking about the people. I mean, there's TikToks. You guys, I don't think people realize there are like hundreds of TikToks about Kristi out there, okay? I mean, I was looking yesterday at the people that are making videos about that. I mean, people are getting 40 and 50,000 views. I'm not getting those kind of views on my channel, you know, which is whatever. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of people talking about Kristi. Had Kristi just addressed the James Charles situation and the LGBT situation, I don't think she would have fucked her career so bad. And all of the mom stuff that people said she talked about so much and all this kind of stuff. And so I'm watching this and I'm like, I don't know. I don't feel like in my heart of hearts, if she came out in a video and said, I'm going to finally talk about what y'all want me to talk about, and she said, this is where I stand, one way or the other, but she wasn't like beating around the bush. Like in this video, she beats around the bush about her business that she's opening. If she didn't just beat around the bush, she just came full out and she just said, this is the deal, okay? Like, this is about the James Charles situation. I got called out, you know, blah, 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 whatever. This is the deal with it. I think she'd lose some people, but I think she gained some people back. If she even came out and addressed it, and I knew where she stands, and I knew that she wasn't anti-LGBT, I'd keep on watching her. You know, there's an aesthetic to her that I really enjoy watching, and I think she doesn't get that. I think she's trying all this different stuff because she's kind of worried that she's screwed the pooch on her career, and I think she has, but I don't know that I think with Kristi it's too late. I mean, Kristi could come out and say, I mean, because it's obvious she's going through something. It's obvious to me, okay? She's putting timestamps and watch, okay? Because just like I called her out in her last video and said, she didn't just do this and do that and do that, and then 2 hours later after my video went up, she changed all that stuff. Okay, so thank you. You're welcome, Kristi. When people want to say all this stuff about whatever, I helped her in that video because she turned around and corrected her video, which the sponsored company could have said, we're not going to pay you because you didn't do this appropriately, okay? But then she's got another video, and she puts timestamps and doesn't include the timestamps. And I'm like, okay, she could come out and just say, I'm going through it, y'all, right now. Okay, but I do need to address this stuff because you guys have helped me pay for my house, helped me afford to be able to start a pottery business, all this kind of stuff. But she won't come out and address it. But I like this video of hers, you know? I can be objective enough to watch a video like this and not be like, I think when you cover somebody and everything that you cover about them is negative, you're not being objective. There's a lot about this video that I like that reminded me of Kristi from back in the day. If you watch this and you're a Raw Beauty Kristi fan, I think most of you would say the same thing. It reminds me of her later videos, but she says some very conflicting things in here, right? So, the first question that she gets asked is, how are you doing mentally and financially? And, you know, she talks about how she has good days and she has bad days. She said financially, she's like, we're doing okay, we're getting by, blah, 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 whatever. Everything she has, she kind of dances around the issues. And then she says, somebody asks her, what is her favorite flower? Hold on a second. I want to refer back to the video. The description box says, I am answering your most asked questions. You are telling me that Kristi's most asked question. Now, I know she owns a garden channel, okay? She has gardens and stuff like that. But out of all the questions, I watched the whole video, okay? She doesn't ever say one thing about James Charles. She doesn't ever say one thing about the anti-trans thing. She references the business for like 2 seconds, which on her last video actually had a lot of comments. People were like, did I miss where you talked about your video? She doesn't talk about that. I mean, people ask questions on her own videos that weren't even in the video that she said she was answering her most asked questions. But you're telling me out of 10 questions you chose to answer, one of your most top 10 asked questions is, what's your favorite flower? Girl, that's some bullshit right there, okay? Dahlias, she says, because they're versatile and they can look different from one to the next. Girl, listen, I am no gardener, but have you ever walked out into a flower? Now, you want to claim about how you're some religious journey, okay? I tell people all the time, I'm a spiritual person, not a religious person, okay? Spirituality is for people, religion is for people that are afraid of going to hell, and spirituality is for people that have already been there and don't want to go back, okay? That's what we say in 12-step programs. I think I actually got that one. What's this say? Hold on a second. Religion is for people that are afraid of going to hell, and spirituality is for people Yeah, I think that is the same. But I'm going to tell you a little joke, a little recovery joke, by the way, because I love this joke so much, right? We're going to talk about spirituality and religiosity today. So the joke goes like this, right? So there's this guy, and he's out in the middle of the ocean, right? And he's drowning. He's like, God, please save me, right? And so because Kristi talks about how she once was lost, but now she's found. And I'm like, oh, I think I know that song, girl. Anyway, amazing. I'm going to get my voice back. No, not yet. Anyway, so there's this guy, and he's out in the middle of the ocean. He's drowning, right? And he's like, God, please save me, right? And so then this boat comes by with these people, and they're like, get in. They're trying to pull him in. He's like, no, God's going to save me. And they're like, you don't want to get in the boat? And he's like, no, God's going to save me. So the boat keeps on going. And then he's like, God, save me. And then this helicopter comes by, and they throw down this rope, right? And they're like, climb up the rope. We're going to save you. And he's like, no, God's going to save me. And they're like, get up the rope. We're going to save you. He's like, no, God's going to save me. And so the helicopter goes away, and the guy dies, right? He drowns. So he goes to heaven, and he sees God, and he goes, I prayed. I believed in you. I prayed. I believed in you. Okay? And you didn't save me. And God goes, I sent a boat. I sent a helicopter. What more do you want? Meaning that maybe there are signs that are sent to you that are some action. Okay? Kristi, I think you have been sent some signs. I think you have been sent some boats and some helicopters. This is just my perspective. Okay? On maybe how to do some things in your career, and you're choosing not to, all right? But anyway, what do I know? I thought God was of love, but I could be wrong about that. I don't know. Anyway, so she goes on and talks about, then they asked her, another one of her top 10 questions she got was, what's her favorite episode of The Office? I didn't even know she watched The Office. Do you have to be like a major Kristi watcher to know that she watches The Office? I didn't know. I've never watched an episode of The Office, so I didn't know. I know what she's talking about. Okay, so then the fourth question, I skipped some of the questions, okay? But she goes in here and talks about they ask her what's the easiest thing to grow in your garden. Now, listen, I know people say I reach a lot over here, okay? She answers about 10 questions in this video of the most asked questions. Are you telling me that one of the 10 most asked questions she got is, what's the easiest thing to grow in the garden? I can tell you that, baby, grass. Put the seed down, you water it, and it grows, okay? I don't need no gardener telling me that. I got a master gardener that lives across the street, Mrs. I got gardeners that live to my left. She's an indoor gardener next door, okay? I don't need Kristi telling me that garlic is the most easiest thing to grow in your garden. But what's crazy to me is that people believe this shit, okay? That they believe that these are the most asked questions that she's getting. That nobody's asking her questions about James Charles. Nobody's asking her, well, maybe they aren't, because maybe she's blocked all those people by now. Who knows? I don't know. Anyway, then they go and they ask her about how her journey with religion is going on, and she goes in this whole thing. Now, I will tell you, Kristi talking about her religion, or her journey with religion, is interesting to me, okay? I don't talk a lot about this in my videos. I do talk about it on my vlog quite a bit, my spiritual beliefs. And, when I say that, people always get real upset. They're like, why is it so important for you to define that you are not religious, that you're spiritual? Because it is important for me, okay? Because I do not follow any doctrine of faith, of any outlined by any church. That is important for me, okay? Because when I got sober, I wanted something, but I didn't internalize it. I've talked a lot about this, okay? That I've been around a lot of people growing up that be like, oh, Jesus says this and Jesus says that, and I never internalized that feeling for myself. I wanted a burning bush moment. I wanted that feeling, okay? I could talk 2 hours about my spiritual journey. I'm a very, 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 very spiritual person. I pray every night. I pray every morning. I do gratitude lists. I am like in it, okay? And I don't judge anybody for their religious beliefs as long as their religious beliefs don't hurt anybody else. Okay, that's my one caveat to that. And my mother was a woman of very strong faith, and when she passed away was a member of 2 churches that heavily came to the hospital, okay? And my mother was also a person of very strong wisdom. And I can remember when a friend of mine, all right, told me, a very close friend of mine, told me that she could no longer be my friend, okay? Because I was a sinner. And when she said to me, all right, my friend on the phone said to me, this was in my late 20s, she said to me that she was worried about me and she was praying for me. And she said to me, because being gay was a sin, and people want to know why I take this stuff personally, okay? And my friend said to me, because being gay was a sin. And I said, well, okay. And she goes, and there's a ranking of sins. And I said, what do you mean? Surely you can't mean like murder. And she goes, it's worse than, and she said the R word, but not as bad as murder. And that was enough for me to know this is not somebody that I can have in my life. And I said to her, wow. And she goes, but I would still have you in my home. And I said, well, I wouldn't have you in mine. And this was 25 years ago, before we're talking about unfriending Facebook, because Facebook and MySpace didn't even fucking exist, okay? And I said to that friend of mine that had been my friend my entire life, I said to her on the phone, okay? I said, well, I would not have you in my home. And she said, you wouldn't? And I said, absolutely not. I would not feel safe having you in my life anymore. And when I talked to my mother about it, my mother, a very strong religious woman, a woman of strong faith, she said to me, a lot of people hide behind religion because they are scared. So yes, this is a personal issue for me, very much a personal issue to me. I have no issue with Christians or people that other religions that stand behind their religion and believe in it and practice it. I think there are unbelievably fantastic, loving Christians out there in the world. Many of them are my friends. Many of them are my friends. I think there are wonderfully fantastic Christians out there that are loving towards the LGBTQI plus community, every color of the rainbow. Because I believe, from what I was taught, by a woman of very strong faith, that was what Jesus believed in. But I could be wrong, okay? So when I watch Kristi's journey with religion, it is interesting to me when she talks about after her mom passed away, she lost any belief in faith. I get that. I get going through times of tragedy and feeling like, God, where are you? I just talked about this in my vlog not too long ago. I get that feeling. So to listen to this, it is for me, it's interesting to see her cathartic journey. I like listening to this. But I also agree with the people that reached out to me that said, this is a moment where Kristi could address her conflict and saying, she's talking about reading scripture, reading the Bible, reading this. Well, maybe that's conflicting with her past belief systems that doesn't necessarily align anymore. I've met my fair share of people that have gone through that conflict crisis before, where it's like, I love God. How does this fit in with God? She could explain that very easily in a video, and I don't think that she would really piss that many people off because I just did it in a video. And I think it makes a lot of fucking sense. So yes, I do think it was a missed opportunity. I do agree with the people that reached out to me about this. You know, she goes in this whole thing and she's like, I can already hear the comments. And I'm like, which comments, Kristi? Because all the comments in your videos are glowing. So you must be talking about the comments that you're blocking people and deleting comments, because all the comments on your videos are glowing. All of them. Which comments are you talking about, Kristi? And then she goes on there and she says, and I'm like, she's talking about religious comments. So I'm like, so, okay, now you blocked people that talk about me. You blocked people that talk about James, Charles. You blocked people that talk about the anti-LGBTQIA plus stuff. You blocked people that ask you about your alignment with other people. You blocked Jacqueline Hill. You blocked people that ask you about stuff to do when you're talking about all this pregnancy stuff and all kind of stuff. Now you're blocking people that want to have conversations about religion that don't agree with you on your channel. Now that is problematic, okay? I will sit down with anybody in the world and have a conversation about spirituality and religion, okay? I think it's a very interesting topic. But you're not going to allow that. You're going to say your piece and not allow comments in your videos anymore? Okay, girl. Is that what she's talking about? She talks about Christians sometimes give themselves a bad name for being judgmental. And I'm like, wait, is this part of your journey here? I'm confused. For you to realize that Christians give themselves a name because they're judgmental? I'm like, some Christians do, Kristi. Not all Christians. And you're putting that out there in the world, okay? And didn't nobody force you to put your kid in that t-shirt. Let's fucking say that day. You want to talk about how close you and your kid are? You want to talk in every video about how close you and your kid are, which that's cool. I think her relationship with her kid is cool, okay? She talks about how she has a job where she works from home. She's constantly with her kid. Her kid has got a photographic memory, all this kind of stuff, right? You put your kid in that t-shirt that day that had the anti-LGBT rhetoric on it. If anybody put your kid in that t-shirt, it was you, Kristi. You approved it. Everybody knows, okay, that you are on, like, you are watching everything your kid does 24 hours a day. So if any approval of that t-shirt went out, that was you, okay? So you want to talk about Christians being judgmental? Baby, you better hold that mirror up, okay? Because you're the only one that's being judgmental and you won't even come out and address it. I have mad fucking respect for somebody that will say something and stand behind their belief. People ask me all the time, what do you think about this person? What do you think about that person? What do I think about those people? I don't necessarily agree with their stance, but they fucking stand behind it. I don't respect somebody that wants to hide behind their belief system, okay? To save face and save fucking money. You done missed me on that one, okay? Missed me on it. So she goes on about all this kind of stuff, and then she's talking about, she's learning about giving it to God and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, girl. I mean, I learned that 30 years ago, but let go, let God. Baby, you could have just gone to a 12-step meeting. You could have just heard some slogans and learned everything you shared in this video. But hey, then she gets asked what's her favorite stage of parenting, and she says every stage she's in. This is her current stage because her kid's a genius. And she's like, I know people are going to pick up on this. It's every parent says. Well, she said, doesn't every parent think that? I thought, no, most. I don't think they do, really. She's like, I think every parent says their kid's a genius. I don't know. Like, I knew this gal one day. I'll never forget this, right? I was sitting at this pool with this gal that I knew. We were like this pool party. And I didn't even know her kid was there, right? And I said something to her. I didn't know if her kid was, listen, I didn't know if her kid was 4 or 40. I had no clue, right? And we're talking. She had a couple drinks and stuff like that. And I said, oh, how's your daughter doing? And things like that. And she goes, she's so good. And I said, she is. And she's like, yeah. And she's like, she's, got a coach for diving. She's going to be an Olympic diver and things like that. And I said, oh, she is. And I'm thinking, like, I went to high school with this girl that was an Olympic diver. No, true story, she was. And I was like, oh my God. And I was telling her about the story and all this kind of stuff. And she's like, yeah, I have really high hopes for her. Her coaching is going really well. And I turned, and she goes, she's right over there. She's practicing her dives in the pool. I turned over. This girl was about 3 or 4. Baby, she was doing some splashes in the pool. Baby, she was no Olympic diver, okay? She's now going into college. She is no Olympic diver. I'm telling you that right now. So, but that woman, I know her, okay? She's arrogant. She is arrogant. I ain't talked to her in years. That woman was arrogant then. She's arrogant now. The tripod fell. Okay, if I had to base what I know of that woman on Kristi saying that don't all parents think that their child is a genius, I don't know. Do arrogant parents think that? Because I know a lot of parents that are like, oh, I know that he's not a genius. I know she's not a genius, things like that. I don't know. Anyway, I didn't take it too deep. I thought it was kind of sweet. Anyway, if you want to know the truth. But anyway, she said this is her favorite stage of parenting. So anyway. Then she goes in and talks about how she's more excited about pottery now. I thought, girl, you'd think we didn't know that. We've heard you talk about this in the last 10 videos. I will say this, though, okay? I think it was one of her last couple videos she did. She's sitting at the pottery wheel, okay? And she makes these coffee cups. Now, I burned my hand on that coffee cup because she didn't put a handle on it. I don't know. Maybe that comes later. I don't know. But I actually thought her pottery was really fucking good. Now, in this video, you find out she don't even have a kiln, okay? She don't even have a kiln, which I was like, is this Pilgrim days or something like that? Is this back in the prairie days that you just lay them out in the sun and that's how they dry? I don't know. But anyway, so she's in there and she's doing this. I thought her pottery was aces. I loved it. I would buy that mug on Etsy, baby. I would, okay? I would buy that mug on Etsy. So anyway, then she goes in and she's talking about, she says something about starting a business. She just kind of says it, right? Like in 2 sentences. But she doesn't say what it is. And then she says something about a pottery business. I'm like, a what, girl? And then she goes on there and she says she's hoping to sell ceramics online. And then people are asking her, like, if she's afraid, if she just focuses on that, will she lose her love for pottery and all this kind of stuff? And I'm like, wait a second. Okay, your business that you're starting is an online Etsy, well, maybe a website, I don't know, ceramic store, girl. And you're hoping that this is going to turn into your... Listen, I am not a dream killer, okay? I am not a dream killer, but I will tell you right now, I will tell anybody out there, do not quit one job until you have found another one, okay? I do not understand how this, unless she has saved a shit ton of money, okay? How that home is beautiful, okay? On that property that they have out there, which is beautiful. You're talking millions of dollars of property out there, okay? Let's just call it for what it is. It is gorgeous property, okay? I don't know how a ColourPop collaboration translates to you selling 2 mugs for $5 on Etsy. Girl, I'm just saying right now, okay? Well, they're not that cheap, actually. They're probably like $40. Unless she thinks that all of her fans are going to be buying these mugs like crazy, and she's just going to be spinning them out of that fucking wheel like crazy. I mean, how many mugs can you make a day anyway, girl, to make that kind of money that you'd be making on YouTube? I don't know. Where is she in her head? I'm confused about this. Like, you can tell Kristi's going through something. I am so confused. So she talks about how her friend's going to come over and they're going to hook up this kiln in exchange for her friend coming over, and, like, she can just, like, burn her stuff in the kiln all the time, stuff like that. I'm like, she's like, I think it's a fair trade. I'm like, this is the kind of stuff I just kind of like listening to her talk about, Then somebody asked her, would she do a meetup? I get that question every single time in my videos. And she said she doesn't think anybody would show up. And I was like, girl, I live. Because that's what I always say, too. I don't think anybody would ever show up. I don't think they would. She says she might do a gardening show. And I thought, well, that kind of fits, I think, you know. Then people ask her if she has tattoos. And she said she doesn't have a tattoo. I don't have any tattoos either. I did, though. When people used to ask me if I have a tattoo, though, I'd say I do. And they'd say, what is it? And I'd say, I have a naked lady riding a dragon all over my back. It's this huge dragon. And the tail whips around the side. People believed me, too. I love that, the look on their face when I tell them, just a naked lady, woo, ride the dragon on my back. Or a naked man, have you. Anyway, then she says on there, she talks about lost her spark doing makeup. And people are asking her, like, are you afraid you'd lose your spark of doing pottery if you turned it into makeup? She says in there, I've lost my spark for doing makeup. And I'm like, oh, you have, girl? Hold on a second. You have, ma'am. Let's look at these videos then, because I'm confusion. Because here you got Get Ready With Me just 2 days ago, where you're putting your makeup on. Is that because you know those videos get more views when you do makeup because people are here for makeup? But you don't tell people that you lost your spark in makeup. I don't think that's very smart, Kristi, that you're telling people that you lost your spark for makeup. Then she talks about that she's trying to find herself again. The hardest part, and this really honestly made a lot of sense to me. She's talking about that. Finding herself, and I know that people are going to flood I didn't even read the comments on her video, but I know they're going to flood it and say, no, Kristi, you need to take time for yourself. What she says in there is that she feels guilty when she is taking time to find herself, like doing pottery or drawing or whatever, because it takes away time that she can spend with her kid, and he's only going to be this age forever, and blah, 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 whatever, and it takes away. She goes, I know it's good, and she says in there, I know it's good for me to take time for myself, but she feels guilty anyway. And I thought, like, I was like, okay, in that statement right there where you say this is where you said, this is where Kristi got me 6 years ago, okay? That I loved about Kristi. She can say a truism that I think a lot of people can relate to. And it might not be the most popular answer, but it's true, okay? And it's honest. And you can't really argue with somebody's experience or their honest response based on an experience. So when she says, because when she said it, I thought she's going to get flooded with comments where people are going to be like, no, Kristi, you need to take care of yourself. I agree with that, right? But when you're a parent, I have friends of mine all the time, okay? I have friends of mine, some of my good friends just got jobs because they're like, I need some time away from the kids because I need to take care of myself. But then when I'm away, I feel so guilty, right? I mean, that is such a truism, I think, of especially mothers, but probably fathers as well, that I've heard from a lot of my friends, okay? This guilt that you have, and yes, it's important for me to do things, have a girls' night out, do date night. Date nights are important, but then I feel like, well, this is time I could be spending with my kids, you know what I mean? So I totally understand that sentiment. This is where I think if Kristi could take that one moment and apply it to what people really do want to know, not these bullshit questions that she came up with, but what, I mean, I think people did ask these questions. I just think she went through and go, oh, favorite flower. Oh, best thing. I think she picked the ones that were easiest to wrap around this religious journey because I think she thought people will come over here to watch a video about my religious journey. Okay, which would have been a perfect opportunity to get into all this kind of stuff. I think if you took that moment of what you did, Kristi, and this at the very end, and you talked in here about just your true, honest feelings of what you've gone through and what's happened and your feelings about all this kind of stuff, I do think you would lose some people, but I think you've lost most people at this point. I don't think it would hurt your channel anymore. I think that, of course, a lot of people would make videos about it. I would. So I'm sure that the other drama commentary channels would make videos about it, and then it would pass. And then people would know where you stand. And then you could go on with your life, and you could do the pottery, and you could do when you want to do the makeup, you could do the makeup, and if you don't, you don't. And your life could go on, and you could leave this behind, okay? And I think if you called me up on the phone, and you asked me my suggestion, so you don't need to, what I would say to you is, you need to move through this to get to the other side so that you can further enjoy your life, okay? I can just tell from the little mistakes she's making that Kristi never made on her mistakes before, that she's not paying close enough attention to this stuff. And she's just not in it anymore. She's just throwing up videos because this is what she has to do to pay the bills. And I get it. But I think that's when other people get to the point of where they're like, they're looking for other things. And she's looking for it. But she's trying to bring her. One thing I do love about it is that she's bringing her audience along for the journey of the pottery, doing the drawing. I mean, I want to be a full-time artist. I mean, we all have dreams out there, you know. I mean, I think we've all had dreams, you know. I had a friend of mine one time that said to me, she goes, I just want to move to Paris and sit in a coffee shop all day long outside and just draw in my sketchbook. She was an artist. And I go, okay, why don't you do that? She goes, who's going to pay for it? I mean, I think that's the question, right? Like, I think it's great, unless her husband, I don't know, got some great job or something. I don't know. She doesn't really share much about her husband, ever. I think that is another thing that's interesting. She never shares anything about her husband. It's always her and her son. She never shares anything about her husband. On her other channel, she does a little bit, right? Because they're together on that channel. But whenever she's done a Q&A, she never talks about her husband. It's so interesting to me. But, you know, whatever. I think there's a way for Kristi to move through all this. I think there's a way for Kristi to move to the other side. But like I said a year and a half ago with the James Charles thing, I think that she's got to move through it and she's got to address it. I'm not saying this, and I know when I say this, people will be like, oh, that's a moment. Some people will say that's a moment where Peter just wants to say, I was right. It's not about that to me, okay? Kristi was somebody that I loved watching. I really respected her for a long time. Had she come out and addressed the James Charles situation, well, the LGBT thing would have happened anyway, probably. But if she had come out and addressed that, then it would have opened the door to her addressing the LGBT stuff, because it would have been like, I addressed this, now I'll address that, right? And then what she would have done was she would have set a precedent on her channel of when things happen, I just address them. I'm not going to be that beauty influencer that doesn't address shit like all the other people out there. So when she didn't address that and then didn't address that, now what we know Kristi for is being the person that doesn't address shit. I mean, she's literally like the new Trisha Paytas. Who, what? And then people are like, well, you have to go look in this video. She said, I'm starting a business. It's in 2 sentences. Or you have to go over here and look at it, and she says, I love all people. That's the same shit that she did, that Trisha Paytas did for years and years ago. So she's the new Trisha Paytas? You have to look for her excuses or her answers and things, you know? I mean, I'm confused, you know? So, I don't know, but I wish her the best on her journey. I hope she figures out what's going on with her. You know, I mean, I wish that I could do jigsaw puzzles and that would pay for my career. You know what I mean? I do. I wish all night long. I think it's great to have hobbies and art dreams, and I always want to be an artist and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, and I have friends of mine. I have a friend of mine that's a mural painter, you know, and in Portland, and I have friends of mine that work on movies. I have lots of friends of mine that have turned their artistry into making very good sums of money. I have furniture makers of mine that are friends of mine. I have lots of friends of mine that do very, very well financially, but it took them many, many, many years and having other jobs along the journey. I wish her the best on that. I really do. I think if you want to save your career on YouTube, you've got to come out and address this stuff. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.